Assalamualaikum students. I hope you all are fine. Today I am going to teach you subject science of class 6 and unit number is 5, atoms, molecules, mixtures and compound, from page number 44 to 55. Our first topic is atoms and molecules. What are atoms and molecules? And basically what is matter? We see many things around us. Some are big and some are small. All these things are made of matters, and matter is made of atoms. So what are atoms? Atoms is the smallest particle of matter or is a small entity which makes everything around us. And this particle takes part in a chemical reaction. What are molecules? Two or more atoms can join together to form large particles of matter called molecules. So one piece of molecule is made of two or more atoms by joining of two or more atoms. Examples: one molecule of oxygen gas is made of two similar oxygen atoms. It means two similar oxygen atoms combine and join to form one molecule of oxygen gas. Similarly, one molecule of water molecule is made by three atoms, one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. Element. What is element? When we say that the matter consists of only one kind of atoms, then that is called an element. So element is a particle which made of only one kind of atom. For example, gold, copper and silver are the examples of atoms or elements which consist of only one kind of atoms. Elements cannot be broken down into further simpler forms by ordinary chemical processes. So by ordinary chemical processes we cannot break down elements into two particles. There are 109 elements known to scientists, and from 109, 92 elements are naturally known to scientists, and other elements are made by scientists by itself. States of matter. There are three states of matter. For example, solid, liquid and gas. Iron is an example of solid element. Mercury is an example of liquid element, and oxygen is an example of gaseous state element. So there is a classification of elements. Scientists classify elements into two main groups, that is metals and non-metals. So there are two forms of elements, metals and non-metals. About 70% elements are metals. So if we see the properties of metals, they are following. Most of the metals are shiny and grey solids. So you can see the iron below in the picture. They can be molded and shaped by heating and pressing. So by heating and pressing we can change the shape of the metals, and metals are also the good conductor of heat and electricity. They can pass easily heat and electricity through themselves. Non-metals. The elements other than metals are called non-metals. They have different properties from metals which are following. Non-metals can be solids, liquids and gases. This is the same property which we discuss in metals. Metals can also exist in solid, liquid and gas state. So non-metals can also exist in solids, liquids and gas state. Solid non-metals are brittle and you cannot mold or shape them. So this property is opposite than metals. You cannot mold or shape them, or you cannot change the shape of the non-metals. Most of the non-metals do not allow electricity and heat to pass through them, so they are non-conductor. So this property is also opposite of metals. Examples of non-metals are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine and nitrogen. Physical properties and uses of some common elements. So first we will discuss the physical properties and uses of some metals. If we see the state of metals, mostly metals are in solids. However, mercury is found in liquid state. So this is exception. Mercury is filled in thermometers to measure temperature. Second property is hardness. Most metals are hard solids. For example, iron. Iron is used to make steel because it is hard. The steel is then used for making rails, bridges, ships, girders, surgical instrument and utensils. Next property is luster. Freshly cut metals have brilliant shine called luster. So this is the basic definition of luster. A brilliant shine in freshly cut metals is called luster. For example, aluminium is used for making utensils and picture frames due to its luster. Gold and silver are used to make ornaments because of their shine or luster. Next property is melting and boiling point. Metals have high melting and boiling point. Due to this property, iron, copper and aluminium are used to make kitchen utensils. Next property is strength and malleability. We know that metals are used to make sheets, wires and springs due to their properties of strength and malleability. So next property is conductivity. They have the property to allow the electricity to pass through them, as we discussed earlier that metals can allow the heat and electricity to pass through them. This property is called conductivity. So there is an additional information in a box. Alloy. What is alloy? An interesting property of metals is the ability to form alloy. An alloy contains more than one metals. German silver is an alloy of copper, zinc and nickel. That German silver is made of three different metals: copper, zinc and nickel. It is used in jewelries. Brass is the alloy of copper and zinc, which is used to make pipes, hose nozzles and jewelries. So these are the important MCQs. Physical property and uses of common known metals. So now we will discuss the physical properties of common known metals which are widely used in our daily life. If we see that air contains several gases which are known metal elements. So in our air in which we can breathe, there are several gases which are known metal elements. Similarly, welders use flame of oxy-fuel for cutting and welding metals, which is also a known metal. Hydrogen and nitrogen gases are used in the manufacture of urea, which are also hydrogen and nitrogen also are known metals. Banaspati ghee is manufactured by the use of hydrogen and vegetable oil. Phosphorus is used in match industry. Phosphorus is also a known metal. Oxygen gas, which is also a known metal, is used in hospitals. Carbon is also a known metal which is used as diamond and is used in jewelries. Graphite, which is consist of carbon, is also a known metal, is used by mixing with clay in pencils. So what are the compounds and mixture? What is the difference between these two basic particles, compounds and mixtures? Compounds: when two or more elements combine chemically in a fixed ratio, a compound is formed. For example, water. Water is also a compound which is made of elements hydrogen and oxygen. Water is made of two hydrogen and one oxygen atom, so it is triatomic molecule. And elements in a compound cannot be separated easily. So the elements in a compound which are not be separated easily because they are combined in a fixed ratio. And in mixture, when two or more substances mixed in such a way that no chemical change takes place, the combination is called a mixture. So in a mixture, the substances which mixed in each other are not chemically converted into a different substance. They are not there is no any chemical change. There is no any chemical reaction in a mixture. A mixture may be, there are two types of mixture, may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. A homogeneous mixture has uniform appearance throughout. For example, a mixture of sugar or salt dissolved in water. And a heterogeneous mixture does not have uniform appearance throughout. This mixture is made of different parts. For example, a mixture of oil and water. Next is a method which is called filtration, and filtration is a method in which we use a filter paper or filter cloth to separate insoluble solids for a mixture from a liquid. So in filtration we use a filter paper or filter cloth by which we can separate insoluble solids from a mixture. Example, we use strainers for separating tea leaves from tea. These are some examples of filtration in our routine life. When we use strainers for separating tea leaves from tea, this is also a process of filtration. In a water filtration plant, filtration is used to separate solid impurities from dirty water. So here in diagram there is a proper process of filtration in which a proper filter paper or filter cloth is used. So next process is sublimation. Sublimation is a process in which a solid on heating directly changes into gas or vapor state, that is called sublimation. In our normal routine we observe that when we heat any solid, firstly it convert into liquids and then it convert into vapors. But in case of sublimation there is directly conversion of solids into vapors by heating, and these vapors are also converted into solid by cooling. So this is a reversible process. We can use this process to separate the two components of a mixture if one component has the property to sublime. So in our routine life, if we take an example, put a few balls of naphthalene in your cupboard with clothes, that we usually do. You will not find these balls after some months. Where do the balls go? So we can say that these solid balls convert into vapors by the process of sublimation, and it is also interested that on cooling the vapors again return to solids. So these vapors, by maintaining the temperature to cooling point, these vapors again can return to solid. The examples of sublimation is iodine, ammonium chloride, which is also called noshadar, camphor, kapoor and naphthalene. These all chemicals have the property of sublimation. Doctors use distilled water for injections. In some countries like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, sea water is passed through the process of distillation to get drinking water. So these people also use sea water for drinking purpose, and they distill that water. In an oil refinery, the method of distillation is used to separate components of crude oil. Crude oil is a mixture of different chemicals such as petrol, tar, oil, dissolved gases and kerosene. Next process is paper chromatography. Dyes and inks are mixed to make the colors for food, clothes and pens. We can use a method called chromatography to find if the color in the ink of a pen is a pure dye or a mixture of dye. So what is chromatography? Chromatography is the separation of colored chemicals. It works because some components of a mixture are more soluble than others. So if we see the method of paper chromatography, in paper chromatography special paper is used to separate the color components in a mixture, and chromatography only works for soluble dyes like in food and pen, but not the dyes in clothes. So that was all we had to study. Fi amanillah, Allah Hafiz.